She's so small. Oh my gosh, she's honestly so tiny. She's not my friend right now. Girl, please. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Oh, I just love it now, guys. Honestly, this is like the best thing in the world. I feel like I haven't filmed a video in so long. You guys generally have to forgive me because I definitely said I was going to be consistent in my last video and then I disappeared. Before we get into this video, I want to shout out Anna Luisa for sponsoring today's video. I'm wearing a few of their jewelry pieces that they sent me. So I'm wearing this gorgeous pebble necklace. I absolutely love it. Like, it's so dainty and so cute. And then they've also sent me this bracelet here. Anna Luisa are an amazing brand. They sell a lot of high quality, hyper-energetic jewelry that is sustainable, it is long lasting, and it is budget friendly. The pieces are timeless, they are gorgeous. I'm really feeling the gold moment at the moment. I think it goes with my hair, it also goes with my dress, and it just looks fantastic. If you want to shop anything from Anna Luisa, I'm going to leave a link in the description bar below. Click the link and have a shop. They do have a lot of sales going on at the moment and a lot of gorgeous pieces that I do think you guys will really love. So definitely check out the link. I'm going to leave it down below. Get you some jewelry pieces before January is over. Accessorize your clothing. Give yourself a bit of a boom. You absolutely love these pieces. I adore them. You will also love them. Definitely check it out. The link is going to be in my bio. Like I said, I haven't been on YouTube in so long. I have various reasons. Like, a lot has changed in my life since last year. So I wanted to do like a life update and just kind of talk you guys through where I've been. So first of all, Happy New Year. It is 2025. Today is actually the 24th of January. It is crazy. My last video, I think, was my Kerastas video back in September. Crazy. It has been months, but I have so much to catch you guys up on. Forgive me for not being consistent. This year I said to myself, I really am going to push to be a bit more consistent because I'm going to have a bit more time on my hands this year, but we're going to get into that. But honestly guys, I have missed creating content and YouTube so much, but my life has just been so hectic. So let's backtrack. Okay, so one of the videos I posted last year was the Dubai trip, and I remember saying, I think at the end of the video, that the video is really patchy and I'm not really sure you guys are gonna really like the video and all these things and yada 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 yada. Basically, I found out I was pregnant. So on that trip I found out I was pregnant, and that's not even a testament in itself because, not to go into too much detail, but I do have PCOS, and upon giving birth I found out that my PCOS is a lot worse than I thought it was, but again, we'll get into that. So that video, the Dubai trip, I think it was the Saturday or the Sunday, I found out I was pregnant, and then that's when the vlog went tits up. Like, it became really patchy, became really blotchy. I wasn't feeling it. You can see, if you know me well enough, or even from watching the videos, you can see that my demeanor changed like crazy. My demeanor changed because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like a complete head loss. This wasn't necessarily planned. I'm upset, no, but it's just like, okay, cool, like me and my partner need to figure out what we're doing. Like, we need to get things together. So it kind of really threw me for a loop, and then that's why I wasn't really vlogging, because I was thinking, yo, I can't even enjoy myself the way I want to enjoy myself. Like, imagine finding out you're pregnant and then going on jet skis. Guys, I was scared. Like, what if the water swallows me up? Hello, no. So that was a whole moment. And then from then, it was just dealing with pregnancy. So at that point, I think I was about 5 weeks or so. I think I was about 5 weeks pregnant. I don't know, because I didn't find out. Like, I didn't know I was. Okay, I just thought my period was late. Again, PCOS, it is nothing new. Sometimes she disappears for 3 months, sometimes she's a week late, sometimes she's 2 weeks late. It's nothing new for me. And I was even told at one point when I was back at uni, when I had all my issues with my lady parts, that even having children may be difficult. So when I found out, I was like, ah, okay. But I'm not a baby, but it was still kind of scary. Like, I'm a hot girl, I'm 23, my birthday's next Sunday. Yo, I was like, it's not that bad, but it's also kind of scary. Fast forward to August. So come August now, you know, I got a car, big pearl. I'll probably insert a picture somewhere. I'm gonna insert loads of pictures because I really need to catch you guys up on like what life has been like, because I did a life update video, but that was so half-assed because I said I'm not gonna include anything until my child is here. August, yeah, I got a car, big pearl, my cute Mercedes GLC. I've been wanting a car for so long, and then I was 5 months pregnant at that point, and I said winter is coming. autumn is coming, I will not be walking. Like, I'm a walking girl. I love walking. I love getting my steps in. In my early pregnancy, up until I got my car, me and my friend Deborah, we were on it. We were on job. We were always going for walks, getting our steps in, getting our steps in, getting our steps in. But then it got to a point where it did start to get a bit painful, because you get this thing called pelvic girdle pain when you're pregnant, and it's because your ligaments start to relax. So then it's like the pressure of the baby like dropping their weight kind of like sits in your hips, and that started getting a lot. So I just said to myself, yeah, this car needs to come now. Shout out to my man, because it was technically a push present, but we don't call it that, but it technically was. But anyway, so then September comes, obviously go to the Caritas event. The angle of me recording that video was really hilarious, because I was defo 6 months pregnant. I was defo 6 months pregnant in that video. So obviously the angle was all up here, I think from like here up. I was trying to avoid like showing my belly, but I carried really small. So even if I did show my belly, you might have just thought, is she pregnant? Is she not? What could have given it away was my belly button, because she started poking out. But if not, then it would have just been a thing where it's like, oh, she might just be a bit bloated, because a lot of people thought I was probably bloated. Like they weren't sure at all, which is hilarious. Then we get to November. So November was great. November was baby shower and Babymoon time. So my partner and I, we went to Morocco for a few days. We did a little Babymoon. That was really nice. A lot of the time I was working, so I was quite active in my pregnancy in terms of working and just regular fitness, but I wasn't active in terms of content creation, simply because I was like, I need to get things in order for when I'm not working. So content wasn't really at the forefront of my mind, I'll be honest with you. It was more so move your business online and stay active, just so labor is as easy and as simple as possible. So that's kind of the vibe that I was on. November was a very busy month. So yeah, we went to Morocco, we did our Babymoon. That was amazing. It was great. My partner did like this really nice like gender reveal sort of surprise thing. Like it was, oh guys, it was so cute. We didn't even go for very long. It was basically 2 nights. Like it was a very short trip, but it was amazing. Then we came home, and then it was time for the baby shower. The baby shower was amazing. It was just so nice seeing like both our families and friends come together. And one thing I can say, anyone who's doubting having a baby shower, just do it, because I didn't want to do one because I felt so many emotions about being pregnant. But I ended up doing one, and I'm so glad I did it, because almost everything that our child needed we got at the baby shower. Like I did put together a registry, and that did help, because people basically just bought off the registry, which I appreciated. Obviously some people bought little things here and there. I also really appreciated some of my friends, like Zamzam for example, she bought me a perfume. So I appreciate that like some of my friends didn't just get stuff for the baby, they got stuff for me. That was really nice and really kind of thoughtful, because I know that sometimes like everyone's excited for the baby, that they forget about the mom or the dad, but I really appreciated that. Yeah, the baby shower was amazing. One of our good friends came and did drinks for us. Shout out her business, Serene Sips. Amazing. Like it was such a great time. Everyone had fun. My partner's mum cooked all the food. There was food galore. Like people were able to pack food and take it home. That's the vibe I was on, because one thing about me, when I do an event, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it big. And then after the baby shower, I was basically back to work. I was like, okay, cool, I need to get in my last few clients. I need to stack this coin, I need to stack this money. I need to stack this money. I really worked. Like now looking back, I was mad. Like if you know me personally, the amount of driving I was doing, the amount of working I was doing was insane. I did entirely too much. Like entirely too much. I would never ever recommend anyone doing as much back and forth and as much driving as I did, because another thing, I moved out of Swindon to Essex, where my partner bought a house. And even that, like the move, going back and forth, like in my towards the end of my second trimester, early third, I was really back and forth. Bearing in mind, from where I live to Colchester is a good 155 miles. That is a 3-hour drive, and I was doing it almost every week. Don't be like me. That is unbelievably unsafe. But I think it was adrenaline and me just being so hyper independent. I was like, things need to get done, this house needs to get done. It's not gonna get done if I don't come and do this stuff myself. So I was always going back and forth. My partner was great, but like, you know, a woman's touch, there's just some things that I have to do as a woman. So for example, after our baby shower, we had so many gifts that it completely filled up my parents' living room that I was like, I need to take this to his house and put it in one of the rooms because the house wasn't fully done yet. Like, it was still more or less like brand new. So I said to my parents, yeah, I need to go. So I literally rammed my car. Thankfully my car's like a hatchback and you can fold the seats down. So rammed the car completely to the point where the car was so full I couldn't see out the back window, and even the passenger side of the driver's seat was stacked. The car was packed of stuff. Took it all to Colchester and dropped off at my partner's house, stayed a couple days, came back home. Then this is when pregnancy started to like take its toll, if you will. Come the week before I gave birth, so I had my cute little baby girl on the 18th of December. So the week before, I just had this overwhelming feeling of, Enya, you need to get things done, you do not have much time. And I thought, I think this is my body or my maternal instinct saying like, this baby is coming, she's coming. And the funny thing is, my due date wasn't until the 6th of January. Before I left Colchester, the last time I went, when I took all the gifts, I had pre-packed or partly packed the baby's hospital bag, but I hadn't packed mine. So then that week, when I came home, I went and bought a new suitcase, and I went and bought all like the little minis and stuff that you can get from like Boots or Superdrug. Managed to get all of those packed and put those together, and I put those in my car, and I just said I will always leave these bags in my car just in case I ever need them. When I was about 35 weeks, I went in for, I had some issues with my baby girl. So I had a midwife appointment, and at that appointment we realized her heart rate was really fast for a couple minutes, which wasn't safe. So I went to the hospital immediately and we did a CTG, which is like a scan that monitors her heart rate and movement and my uterus movements and all that sorts of thing. And they said, okay, like, she failed a couple of the scans but then eventually passed, thankfully. So they said, okay, they're gonna send me home, but they're gonna start booking me in. They're gonna book me in for an emergency ultrasound just to check that everything's okay. So I did that emergency ultrasound. Everything was fine, which is good, thank God. But they said, we're gonna routinely keep you in every 2 weeks to do routine scans just to be sure that everything's good and she's growing right and stuff, because they did also find out that she was a little bit, just a tiny bit small. So I said, okay, that's fine. I was due to move to Colchester the Tuesday of the week I gave birth, but I knew I had another routine scan on the Monday. Now there's a part of me that knew she was coming early, but I kept saying to myself and my body, like, wait until 37 weeks, just wait, so that she's not cast as premature, that it's like, okay, cool, this is like a safe time to give birth, like, just wait, baby girl, just wait, please. Bang on 37 weeks, I now go to the hospital for another routine scan. And the night before, I was finishing loads of wigs. I'd done a Black Friday sale. Everyone loves this unit that I'm wearing at the moment. It's called a Laura. I'll insert some other pictures so you can see the unit properly. I had just shipped off a bunch of orders the night before, and then the morning of me going to the hospital, I walked to the post office, you know, still get my steps in, posted a wig, posted some stuff for my dad, came home, and there was a part of me that was like, I wanted to pack my clothes because I knew I was moving the next day. I'd packed most stuff the night before, but it was just my clothes that I needed to pack. But then something was like, don't bother. So I didn't. I just sat at home, and then when it was time for me to go for my appointment, I was like, let me just go. Went for my scan. They were like, yeah, she's still a little bit small, but her growth is in progression with the last one, so she is gaining weight proportionally, so they're happy. It's just a thing of like continuing to like eat well and make sure you rest and keep your fluids up and all that good stuff. I said, cool, I can do that. So routinely after you have a scan, well, I had a scan, I had to go see the midwives or a doctor. So I went to go see the doctor, and they did my blood pressure, and my blood pressure was like 168 over like 110, which is insanely high. And they were like, that is very high and worrying. Have you ever had high blood pressure? And I said, no, I haven't had high blood pressure at all during my pregnancy, like at all. I've seen my midwife every time, she's done my blood pressure, it's always been normal. I have no issues. Even the week before or 2 weeks before, it was completely fine. So little did I know, and I wasn't diagnosed until after I gave birth, but I developed preeclampsia, which can be very life-threatening. It's basically high blood pressure in pregnancy. It is normally detected at 20 weeks, but I got mine very late. Like, it could have probably gone undetected had I not had those routine scans, which is again another thing of God just doing his thing throughout my entire pregnancy. So they said, we're going to see if your blood pressure comes down. They kept me for an hour or 2 hours and it didn't come down. My blood pressure did not come down, and they said, we're really sorry, we can't let you go home, we have to keep you here. And I said, okay. So I went to my car, got my stuff. Thankfully, like I said, I packed my bag, and maybe around 10-11 o'clock at that night, one of the midwives came and said to me, like, I'm not gonna lie, we are probably gonna have to induce you, but don't be worried, you can probably still have your ideal birth. And I wanted like a water birth, you know, starry lights, candles, everything, oh, so romantic, so relaxing, you know, just me and my partner, maybe my mum too, just so nice, you know. I was like, okay, that's fine. But that night I really couldn't sleep, so I had already been getting like pretty strong Braxton Hicks, and they were quite strong, not strong enough for me to be like, oh my gosh, I'm in pain, but enough for me to have to like pause for a second and breathe through them and then keep going. And one thing I did notice, that every time I got one of them, my heart would be pounding, like literally pounding, like it would be beating unbelievably fast, and then it would stop when the contraction goes away. And I mentioned it to my midwife, and I think she said, oh, do you have anxiety? And I said, no, I don't have anxiety, I've never had anxiety, but it's not a good sign. And I think it also links now to the high blood pressure, but again, no one put two and two together. And the Tuesday comes, so we're on the 17th of December, and they tell me they're going to induce me. So my partner was in Essex and I was in Swindon at this time, so I called him and said, hey, they're probably going to induce me, you need to come down. So he came down. I rang my parents don't work in Swindon, they work in Wales. I rang them and said, hey, it's looking like, you know, your grandchild is coming, you need to come home. They said, okay, fine. So everybody came. The Tuesday was just a very chill day. It was just me and my partner like taking videos, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be pregnant anymore, like I miss my bump, I love my bump, you know, all of that. And then come Wednesday, so Wednesday comes and they induced me around 12:40, something like that, like around 12:30, midday-ish. I had only dilated like a fingertip space, like it was barely anything. So they said, yeah, we're going to induce you. So they put in this thing that's like a hormone, like a tampon, like a flat tampon that hurts like a, oh my gosh, that hurt. And my pain tolerance is high. I didn't scream or anything, but I definitely winced because I was like, that is uncomfortable. Gave it a couple hours and I should have started dilating by that point, but there's like 3 modes of induction, so it wasn't that bad if I wasn't, but ideally I should have been. Put it in, I wasn't really dilating. Cool. They come to check me around 6:30 p.m. and she's asking, you know, are you feeling any tightenings? Are you feeling any contractions? I'm like, yeah, definitely feeling them. Like they were getting a lot stronger. I could absolutely feel them. Definitely feel them. So she said, okay, cool. She's just gonna check to see if I've dilated. So they again put their fingers up to check your cervix to see if you're dilating, but I wasn't. But I was definitely having contractions. So they hooked me up to the CTG monitor again to check my blood pressure and baby girl's heart rate, and they realized that every time I have a contraction, my blood pressure spikes to like 150, 160, like up. But then her heart rate was dropping below 100, when normally it's around 140, 150, like it dances around that. And they were like, okay, this is not good. And she basically said, don't be alarmed, don't be scared, I'm gonna press this button and a lot of people are gonna come into the room. Press the panic alarm. Within about 10 seconds, I kid you not, the room was swarming with doctors and nurses and so many people and surgeons, and they immediately walk in, look at the CTG, they look at me, they're like, yeah, emergency C-section right now. And I was like, sorry? They said, yeah, you have to have a C-section right now, 30 minutes, you have 30 minutes. I said, what do you mean, do you know you have 30 minutes? 30 minutes? 30. And I said, that you don't even have the time to process it. And at that particular moment in time when they had come in, my partner wasn't even in the room. He had left the hospital to go get a prescription medication that he needed from the Tesco that was like 15 minutes away. And the thing is, he could or could not make it back in time because of how quickly they were trying to get me into the theatre. And it was very, very scary. I'll be honest with you, I burst into tears because I said, this is not the birth that I want. Everything seems to be going wrong. I don't understand what's going on. I rang my sister. She had just gotten to Swindon. I rang my sister, I'm crying, I'm like, hey, have to have a C-section, are you at home? Tell mum, tell dad, She's like, Enya, I'm coming right now. Drops her bag, starts heading to the hospital. I've already rang my partner, I'm telling him, you need to come back to the hospital right now because I'm not going through this thing by myself. He manages to make it back within like 2 minutes of them taking me to theatre. I kid you not, insane. So he arrives, They make me sign all these things saying these and these and these and the risks. You don't even have time to read it. They're just trying to get you to sign it, like get you out of the room and into theatre. Like, it was so scary. I'm texting my family and it's like, my house to the hospital is not that far. It's maximum 20 minutes, realistically 15. I was already in the theatre by the time my sister had gotten to the hospital with my brother. That's how quickly they had got me in there. So I didn't even get to see my siblings, and I was scared because I was like, I've never had surgery, never been put under any sort of anesthetic, and I was like, really and truly, I don't know what's gonna happen here. And I was scared. I'll be honest with you, I was very, very scared. I had this weird feeling that I was gonna die, and that's even a whole conversation for another day. I don't know if I'll talk about that on YouTube unless people really want me to. That's like a whole spiritual side of things that I could or could not get to. If you want to know, then let me know, and I could probably do in another video, do like a separate talk about the spiritual side. Into theatre, obviously they numb you, numb me from like just under the boobs down, couldn't feel a thing, and they allow you to play music. So I put on a gospel playlist because I said, baby, if this is when it's lights out for me, let me at least be lights out to gospel music. Do you hear? Yeah, put on some gospel music and everything was cool. And then I was really scared. I'll be honest with you, I was very scared. I was shaking uncontrollably. I was very, very scared, very, very nervous, because I was like, bro, what if this anesthesia doesn't wear off? You know, what if they put the anesthesia in the wrong place in my spine and I can't walk again? All these negative things were just clouding my mind, which is why I said I need to specifically listen to gospel music just so I can calm and clear my mind. And it worked, to be fair. Within 20 minutes of being in the theatre, baby girl was born. She was born, my little dinky dot. Oh, she's so cute and small. She's so cute and small. She was born at 7:24 and she literally weighed nothing. She weighed 2.275 kg, which is tiny. She's like 5 pounds and like 2 ounces or something, and babies are average like 6 or 7. Yeah, tiny, like her mom, period. I heard her cry. I kid you not, guys, I could not stop crying for 5 minutes. I cried and cried and cried and cried and cried. I couldn't stop crying, and she's so beautiful. She is so beautiful. She's so gorgeous. She's so adorable. I'll probably go get her in a second. You won't see her face because I am just not comfortable with that. Sorry. Yeah, she's so gorgeous. I love her to bits. Like, I love her. Like, but even when she cries, I know some people get really fussed or stressed out when their baby cries at night. I'm sorry, I just look at her like, yo, you're alive. Like, you're literally alive, because the way it was looking, I can genuinely guarantee you guys, if I had gone through a natural birth, with the way my heart was racing and I wasn't even dilating, I probably would have gone into cardiac arrest if I had had a natural birth. No word of a lie. My heart was racing entirely too hard. It was pounding entirely too much at a point where it's like, you haven't even gotten anywhere. So imagine if I had gotten to 10 centimeters. No. God worked it out exactly how it was supposed to, and I've had this conversation with my close friends, with my family, that I genuinely believe like how everything happened is exactly how it was supposed to happen, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I am eternally grateful. I'm so happy. My partner's happy, my parents are happy, my siblings, they're always fighting over her. Like, it is so cute and I love it. And I ended up spending another almost a week still in the hospital. They let me go home on Christmas Eve. Bear in mind, I gave birth on the 18th and I'd been at the hospital since the 16th. So I was getting sick and tired of leaving the hospital, but it got to a point where I was like, I have to just let go and stop trying to control the situation, because trying to control it was what was making me more sick, because I gave birth but my blood pressure was still high. And it even got to a point where there was the Saturday after giving birth when they were supposed to let me go home, because what they said was, we're going to keep you for 3 days, do baby girl's 3-day checks, and then afterwards you'll go home. No, it got towards the evening. They said, no, we can't let you go, your blood pressure's too high. And I said, I need to go for a walk. Like, I'm sorry, you lot are stressing me out. So I went on a walk with my friend Natasha, who came to the hospital to, like, her and Alberta were just dreams. Antonio, Deborah, everyone, her sisters, everyone that came to visit in the hospital. I just love everybody so much. But yeah, I said, I need to go for a walk, I need to go for fresh air. And everyone started panicking because they're like, you can't leave the room, you can't leave the ward, blah, blah, you need to stay, it's not safe. And I was like, guys, please, you're not making my situation any better, you're making it worse, okay? But then, to be fair, they weren't wrong. I came back, they did my blood pressure, and it was literally 187. over like 120 something, and they immediately had to take me off the ward, took me to the delivery room, and they're like, we're gonna have to put you on blood pressure medications because your blood pressure needs to come down. Like, my blood pressure was so high to the point where like I could have a stroke, I could faint, or I could literally have a heart attack. That's how high it was. And they were like, it's not safe, it is not safe for you, it is very risky, you can die. So yeah, I rang my parents, they came to the hospital again. The medication did work, so then they moved me out of the delivery rooms back onto the ward, but they didn't put me in the bays, like the cubicles where there's loads of other people. They now put me in my own private room again, and I stayed there for another 3-4 days. Come Christmas Eve, they eventually said they're gonna discharge me, and I kid you not, I think the guy who even came to tell me that I was being discharged was an angel. I'm not even gonna pretend, because the Monday night I was getting really frustrated because they kept giving me blood pressure tablets. And the day before, the Sunday, I had spoken to a doctor. I had a black doctor. She's amazing. I don't know what her name is, but she is absolutely amazing. Basically explained to me what's going on, what she thinks is happening with me, the medication, that I only need a certain amount, blah, 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 blah. But then the next day, they're just bringing me blood pressure medications all the time, and it's going against what the doctor told me the day before. So I said to them, I'm not taking this medication unless you let me see a doctor, because I was supposed to have seen a doctor that day and no one came. And then I got to 6 o'clock and wanted to see a doctor. Florence, one of my other good friends, came to see me after her shift at the hospital and said all the doctors would have gone. You're only going to see a doctor if it's an emergency. And I was really angry because I was like, why am I being neglected? If I was told I'm supposed to be seen by a doctor, let the doctor come and tell me what's going on with me, else I will self-discharge and I'm going to go home. I don't understand. Eventually, I kicked up enough of a fuss that a doctor did come at like 10 p.m. She came and she basically said to me that, yeah, I had preeclampsia. And I'm thinking, how are you diagnosing me with preeclampsia almost a week post-birth? Why was it not picked up? She basically explained that a lot of the time when it comes to preeclampsia, they only look at like blood pressure to begin with. They don't look at other factors. But she said specifically with me, my daughter being slightly smaller should have been the first indication that maybe I had preeclampsia. But they didn't pick it up. They were only looking at blood pressure, and my blood pressure only spiked 2 weeks later at 9 months pregnant. Okay, and there's other ways to indicate or if you are at risk of it, and PCOS being one of them. And I do have PCOS, and I knew from when I was back in uni that one of my ovaries was polycystic, but I didn't know both of them were. And the only reason why I found out that they both were was because they cut me open and the guy could see my ovaries, and the surgeon literally told me, like, did you know that you had PCOS? I said yes, but I only knew that one ovary was polycystic. And he said no, both of them are. But he wanted to have a conversation with me, but because they wanted to rush me out of the theatre and back to my own like private room, he didn't get the chance to talk to me. So I also had to go and follow up on his notes post-surgery. Someone came and told me exactly what he'd written down, which was really helpful, and I'm grateful for that. But yeah, so PCOS is one of the biggest causes of preeclampsia in pregnancy, especially in women of colour. But yeah, so that's fine. So I saw a doctor the Tuesday morning, and she said, we're gonna have to monitor you for another 24 hours, and it's very unlikely that I'll be able to go home. If I'm gonna be able to go home, it's gonna be on Christmas Day. And you can imagine, I've already been at the hospital for 8 days. I don't want to be at the hospital on Christmas. I'd really like to go home and spend Christmas at home with my baby, with my family. That day, I just kind of thought like, yo, the only thing I'm going to do is worship today. I'm just going to worship all day, and I'm praying that God really turns the situation around, because it's only He that can. And what I appreciate is the night before, my mum had come to the hospital and she prayed over me. She anointed me. She anointed the room. She anointed my daughter. And then the next day, come midday after seeing the doctor at 9 a.m, because they made sure they sent a doctor first thing in the morning. Comes to about 12 o'clock midday, someone comes in the room and he's like, hey, and all he asked me is, do you want to go home? I said yes, I want to go home. He said, I'm gonna let you go home. You can go home. He said your urine is fine, all your blood samples are fine, your sugars are fine, everything that would make us want to keep you is fine besides your blood pressure. And he said you're responding well to the medication, so I'm going to send you home. And glory be to God, I was discharged on Christmas Eve. Literally got home at like 9 p.m, but I was still happy to just be home. And shout out to my family, shout out to my partner, shout out to everybody who helped and supported in that time. It was just great. It was just great. It was just great. It was just great. And now my little dinky dot is literally almost 6 weeks old. I can't even believe it, because where has the time gone? where's the time gone? And it's just been amazing. We've been back and forth between here, like home, and Essex, but it's been really nice, and the support and everyone coming to visit has been fantastic. We did have a little scare because she caught RSV, which is like a respiratory virus, in baby, so we actually did spend a week in hospital when she was 3 weeks old. That was also really difficult, but you know, she's fine, she's good. That's all that I care about. So that is pretty much what I have been up to for the last just under a year, but the last few months, and it explains why I haven't been so consistent. There's been a lot going on. Like, I've been insanely busy, from sorting business out to preparing for pregnancy to post-pregnancy to moving and then settling and getting all that stuff done. Like, it's been insane, but it has definitely been a journey, and it's been great. And even post-pregnancy has been amazing. Like, I'm loving every minute of it. If I'm being honest with you, it is not as daunting for me. I know everyone's experience is individual, but for me, it hasn't been a scary experience. Like, I have been having a great time. It's just been great. Like, honestly, it's been such an amazing experience so far, and I've got nothing to complain about. Like, I genuinely have no complaints. I'm just so happy. Yeah, that's basically where I've been. I do want to push YouTube this year. I do want to push content creation a lot this year, just because like my focus is my child. I'm still running my business. Like, I still do hair, I still do wigs, I still do all of that stuff. Like, that hasn't stopped, guys. Like, I'm a machine. I still work. But it's been great. I've had at least a month off-ish, so I'm slowly getting back into it, more so focused on the online side of things as opposed to like physically being behind the chair like I used to be. But yeah, like that's basically it. So that's what I've been up to, and we have come to the end of the video, guys. Please don't forget to check out Anna Luisa. Thank you again to them for sponsoring this video. They have a lot of sustainable jewelry, a lot of long-lasting jewelry, and the jewelry all comes with 2 years warranty, so definitely check out the pieces. The link is going to be down in the description below. Please check it out and make sure you shop their sale before the winter sale ends. I'm gonna love you and leave you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't hesitate to leave a comment, like, subscribe, tell a friend to subscribe. Please don't forget to comment what type of videos you want to see with me this year. If it's more vlogs, more hair, more beauty, more motherhood, what sorts of things you want to see, please let me know, and I'll be so happy to create that content for you guys. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Happy New Year, and I hope that you guys have an amazing year. But yeah, guys, take care. Bye.